Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about whether or not you should have cheat days. Now before we begin, if you need help from the weight loss perspective, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, which has hundreds of articles and recipes. My movie podcast is Cinema Rag, if you like movie and movie gossip. And lastly, if you appreciate my content, there's a link for PayPal. Now, this episode should be pretty short. Should there be cheat days? It really depends where you're at in your journey. If you're in weight loss or weight maintenance, and we have a video here, like the fundamental different paradigm view you must have if you're in weight loss mode or in weight maintenance mode. I would tell you as a whole, and this is just from my experience of keeping my weight off 32-ish, I'm coming up on 32 years. We shouldn't be labeling food as good or bad. We shouldn't be thinking, oh, I ate this, now I'm bad, or I'm a bad person, or if I ate well, oh, I'm a good person. The whole problem with the reason you're overweight is because you've been associating from a very young age emotions to food. And so by continuing to do that, by calling cake bad, carrots good, and by saying I'm bad if I didn't eat well, or so forth, you're still continuing to connect emotions to food. Now, regarding cheat days, I would say that if you are losing weight and you're overweight, so you're lean, lose weight, I would say eliminate any cheat days. Cheat days, it's like the accumulation of vice and virtue. When you think of like Christian virtue and Christian vice, the more you do good things, the more you do virtuous things, the more you're in a state of virtue, it's easier to continue to do those things. And the more you start slipping into sin, it just becomes easier to do those things too. And you can see that just with habits, because virtue is a habit and so is vice. When you're making your bed every day and you continue to make your bed, it just becomes like so second nature that you don't have to think about it. And then flip it around, right? When you start eating ice cream one day and you're like, oh, I ate ice cream one day, I guess I could do it again, and then do it again, and then you're going down the slippery slope. So I definitely would say you need to be more of a purist when you're in weight loss mode and not have cheat days. Every day should be a day where you're watching what you're eating, moving the body, shocking the body, good sleep, all the things we talked about. Now, when you're in weight maintenance mode, it's kind of a different beast, because now you have to use a rubric that's going to work indefinitely for many years. So many people lose weight by crash diets. And sometimes they work, because you have the conviction and maybe the restraint to do something for 6 weeks especially, or 8 weeks or whatever, because you're getting results. But then you're at that point of, now what? And if you're in this point right now, I definitely recommend you check out my playlist, Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior, because that chronicles my post-weight loss years where I was at that point. It's like, I have no good eating habits. I've lost the weight. Now am I supposed to keep it off? There's no owner's manual. So when you're in weight maintenance, then you got to change everything that crash diet will not work long term. Then you have to go back and have a normal diet, make good choices. And so when you're in weight maintenance mode, you can have cheat days, but cheat days aren't really cheat days because you have a normal relationship with food. So if you're going to eat cake or whatever, it's not called a cheat day. You're just eating your normal new food in the new paradigm. Now, you should limit the amount of cake, of course, that you're eating, but it's not a cheat day. So it's hard to explain this. What I'm trying to say is, when you've lost the weight, I would throw away veganism. I would throw away the opposite carnivore diet. I would throw everything, and you have to find a diet that is sustainable. And I hate to tell you, all you people who are paleo, as much as I think there's benefits to paleo, and I talked about in Reflections how paleo is one of the ways I pivoted and started to fast. A life with no bread, a life with no rice, a life with no legumes, a life with no whatever milk, typically, unless it's medically contraindicated, is not something that's sustainable. People like bread, people like milk, you're going to drink it. So it's having a new relationship with food where you don't overindulge. And you understand that food is just to sustain your body calorically. It's not there to nurture you emotionally, psychologically, and all the things that we used to do when we were fat. Food feeds the body, and that's it. Gives you the calories you need, the nutrients you need, and then you poop out the rest. That's how you need to look at food once you get to weight maintenance mode. So when you get to that mindset, then you can have, quote, cheat days, even though we don't call them cheat days. There's just going to be some days where you might have a dessert in a week, a couple of times a week, and other days you don't. And that's kind of the difference. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.